That's right, guys, we are back on the channel. EA Access hit yesterday, but the game took that long to install on my Wi-Fi that by the time it had installed, it was time for bed. So we are probably, 12 to 24 hours late, somewhere in between them two figures, but we are back on the channel with this brand new FIFA 20 Road to Glory series. We are starting with the Road to Glory this time around. Obviously, got some stuff to explain. I really dropped the ball, didn't I, with FIFA 19 towards end. Both of them series didn't really get an ending because work just really obliterated me. It really did. We changed rotors like twice within the space of a few months, and it was just really hard to figure out a schedule. We're getting all the videos up that I were. Plus, we had my honeymoon. Went to Florida, and I just couldn't get back into the swing of things. But I promised myself that when FIFA 20 came out, I would be right back on that shit, and we would get a regular schedule going. For a minute, I'm just going to have one career mode running on my channel. I did promise that I would be doing a Newcastle save in terms of Premier League saves. We are still possibly going to be doing that at some point, but for now we are going to start with the Road to Glory because this one is going to be the longest career mode, I would imagine, seeing as we start right at the bottom of English football in League 2. So I don't know much about Salford other than obviously they are owned by the class of 92, as that little video package I put together shows. It's going to be a learning curve for me. I don't know what formation they play, I don't know what formation I'm going to play, which is going to be interesting. But let's set some ground rules for this career mode first, shall we? I am only going to be looking at signing youth players from the academy, at least for the first season. So the money we've got in the transfer budget, if there is any, I'm going to try and invest that in a youth scout. I will look at players that are free agents. So if there are any decent free agents that I think might improve the team, I will look at signing them. But I'm not going to buy anybody. I'm going to try and keep the signings fairly realistic, so I'm not just going to go to top clubs and try and snap up all the youngsters. We might see if there's any youngsters at Manchester United worth bringing in on loan, perhaps second season when we are in League 1. But for now I want to try and keep this realistic, so we'll stick to just youth players and free agents and see how we get on. We have got some emails to have a look at. Obviously I've been told that there's ways to have a look around at certain screens instead. Yep, recognise draining, demanding season. Appreciate that you accepted the invitation to participate. So that's just about the European International Cup. I did go for the one with the most prize money because obviously we need to increase the budgets a little bit just to get some youth scouts in. Transfer markets open. Visions and expectations. Youth development, very low. They want us to sign one player to the senior team in the same season they were scouted and play them in one match. Alright, well, youth development for me is going to be quite important because this is a Road to Glory. So I don't know how much attention I shall be paying to that. I mean, it's an easy one to do, isn't it? We should be able to make the board happy if we do that relatively quickly, I would have thought. Brand exposure, short term, sell out at least 85% attendance of at least half of our league home games this season. Well, that's not really under my control, is it? Continental success, no objective obviously because we are in League 2. Domestic success, they want us to gain automatic promotion and reach the round of 32 stage of the FA Cup. Doable possibly, we shall see. I'd like to get promoted. I want to carry on the whole idea of back-to-back promotions. I would like to get straight into League 1 if possible. No financial objectives. That's good. We ain't got to worry too much about finances then. Scout report, not really important. And introducing myself. Alright, cool. And what we are going to do is just have a quick flick through the free agents. I won't do it all on screen. Just to see if there's anybody that might be halfway interested in joining us that we might be interested in signing. It's obviously a good idea to have a look at free agents. We can stack out the team a little bit. There's a couple of youth prospects already, like that kid. Probably going to be crap, but I'll have a quick flick through all this, and then if there's anybody that does get added to the transfer hub for us to take a further look at, I will show you once it's done. Alright, we have looked through all the free agents, and I have found 4 players that might be potentially of interest. Probably only short term. So the first one is this Birkir Bjarnason. He's Icelandic, 31, fairly tall at 6 foot. He's got 4-star weak foot, which might be handy. Some of his stats look like they might be in a decent range. He can play CDM and central mid as well. But he's a decent jumping. Stamina looks good. He's fairly strong. Looks like he might be useful if his stats are somewhere in the middle of them ranges. So we might look at bringing him in. There's also Archimedes Figueira, who is a CDM. Same again, his stats look halfway decent, at least the Rangers do, especially stamina of 80 to 90, which might be good. He is 29. We won't be bringing any of these in on big contracts, by the way, or long contracts, so it would all depend on if we can get them cheap enough and they are willing to take a short deal. The next one is Omar Gaber. Right back, can play right midfield or left back as well. He's Egyptian. He looks fairly quick. If you look at his acceleration and sprint speed, he's quite aggressive as well, so might be good in the tackle, although if his tackling is poor, which it's not too bad his stand tackle, but if his tackling is quite poor, then that aggression might not be great, but he is worth a look at. And then we've found a guy who can play on either wing, basically, which might be handy until we figure out what formation we are going to use. I only basically want to look at this guy because he looks quick. If you look at his acceleration and his sprint speed, that's not bad in terms of the range. So we will wait for some scout reports to come back on these and see how we get on once, well, see if we want to bring any of them in once we know exactly how good they are. And obviously there's some really fun things that have been introduced into FIFA 20. As you can see there, squad morale at the minute is sort of average. That is something that gets affected by the various conversations and cutscene interactions that you have in this game. There are pre and post-match interviews. You get asked questions about the squad, about individual players, about performance, and your answers will affect that morale. Now, what I'm going to do with that is I am going to answer honestly whenever I'm asked questions. I am not going to bullshit the reporters to try and influence squad morale. If I think a player were crap or I think performance were crap, I'm going to say it and we'll just deal with whatever the reaction from the players is from that. Now, as I said, I don't know how Salford actually play. If 5-3-2 is the formation that Salford use, then fair enough. I'm going to sort of evaluate the squad. I've already put in the players into the starting lineup that look like they should be in. I'll evaluate that formation and the squad, and we will see if we want to make any changes. It also depends on whether we bring any of those players in as well. Obviously, Rooney and Towell are the best players at Salford, and I'm probably going to be heavily relying on them this season. But the rest of the squad positions are up for grabs, and we will decide after playing a couple of games whether we are going to stick with that formation or perhaps try what I thought I was going to do when this our plan to start this series on the channel is use a 4-4-2. That might still happen, especially if that Icelandic guy that we're currently scouting turns out to be any good, because having somebody that's lightning quick out on the wing might not be a bad thing. Now, we have had a message from the captain. So it says, "Greetings, boss. On behalf of the whole team, I'd like to give you a warm welcome at Salford." So obviously this is going to be one of those opportunities to affect morale. I think excited about the future is probably the right answer, but the possible answers we've got are excited about the future, we've got work to do, and nice to meet you. So I think I am excited about the future. We have got big things ahead of us in this career mode with Salford City. So let's see how that affects the morale of Liam Hogan. And his morale has gone up. It's still only sort of, you know, I suppose undecided, but it has improved a little bit, and obviously morale does affect stats. So if the morale is up and you get a boost in stats for I think is it a couple of games, but if morale drops, the stats will also drop with it. Also with dynamic potential, that means that some players have got a real chance to grow over the course of a season. But I'm going to stop waffling on and let's play game number 1 of this Road to Glory career mode then, shall we? We are playing Cosenza? Never heard of him. Alright, here we go. First game, controlling Salford. Now, obviously there's been other changes made in FIFA career mode, as well as the game in general. Apparently passing is going to be a lot harder in this game. Oh, cut out at the last minute. Ball comes forward, and I'm going to really have to put the player indicators on as soon as this attack's over. And that's gone wide, and it is a goal kick. It's Maynard. Look forward for Towel. Looks forward, and he does find Rooney. Oh, get in. First goal of FIFA 2020, and it is Rooney that starts things off for us. Nice little defence breaking pass and an easy squaring at ball to Rooney. It's only a tap-in from 5 yards out. You're not going to miss that, are you? But it is nice to start the scoring. Oh, well done, Towel. Nice little turn. Maynard knocks it on. There's Rooney. He's not got the legs for sprinting into the box. Oh, and that's 2. We are... No. Does it not... yeah, he just stopped running for some reason. He stopped celebrating. It does count. He was onside, and, well, keeper perhaps could have done a little bit better with that, but don't matter, does it? We don't care if keeper's doing better or not. It isn't back at net, and hopefully some money is going to come to us. And he's been run off at ball by Monaco. He thought he'd won it back, and again, oh, come on. How many times did he want to win that ball back then before just not doing okay afterwards? Here's Baez. I can feel already that it feels like we need a bit of an injection of pace in this team. So maybe when we start thinking about young players, we should be looking at speedy players. And that is in the back of the net. That is 2-1. Defence just split. Should have done better. You see, I was too busy talking about youth players, but our defence were nowhere then. We did get a touch on ball, nearly blocked it, but it fell kindly to attacker, and it's tucked in to corner. Keeper perhaps should have done better as well. Canute onto Literi. There's Bonucci. I don't know why I said Bonucci then. That is not what that said, is it? Again, defence split, this time offside. We are fortunate. The ball comes through a touch too late, and he's a good yard offside. And there we go. It is half time. At the break, Salford lead 2-1. One thing I do need to do after this game is hook us up with a youth scout, because youth players are going to be ridiculously important. They have cut straight through our defence, and that is all square. I was too busy talking about youth scouts and not paying attention, and our defence was turned inside out. Just so poor defensively. It just nutmegs the defender as well. I really am rusty on FIFA. This is going to be an interesting save, lads. Whitehead out wide. It's Toure. Rooney on for Gaffney. Oh, knocked off the ball unfairly, says the referee. And don't know what that were. I'm really going to have to pay attention to the different free kick techniques. We are making a substitution. We are bringing on a striker whose name I have no idea how to pronounce. So I'm not even going to attempt it until I've managed to look that one up. Oh, well cut out by Rooney. And the replacement striker that's just come on, the substitute, creates an opportunity. Monaco clears the ball. That will be a corner. First corner for us of the game, I do believe. Toure floats it in. Keeper comes out. It falls to Whitehead. Ball eventually turned away. On to Towel. It's our most creative midfielder. And there we go. We have retaken the lead. That is what we want. And it is the substitute that scored. I could not tell you his name if I wanted to. Got a little bit fortunate there. We picked the ball back up with Towel, was it? That with the splitting pass, and Rooney provides the assist. Ball ridiculously close to keeper, just chucked to Sen at it, and it's in back at net. It's roof at net, actually. The opposition does seem to have gone all-out attack since they conceded goal number 3. Oh, and they've equalised again. We stood off. We gave them space. We were expecting another killer pass, and boom. Long shot just from the edge of the area. Gutting. Through middle, Canute, Brasini, Moreo. There's Canute again, another long shot, and Neil with the save. Right. And never mind, I was going to say we are going to come out from the back. That is it. We have played all the extra time we are going to play. The game ends all square, 3-3. Well, we didn't lose the first game of this career mode, which is, you know, at least one positive to take from this. I'm still getting used to formation. I am not convinced that that is the formation we're going to take, because I don't think the wing backs are really quick enough to provide us with the attacking width that we need. So we might change to a formation that does have wide men in it that are not defensively wide, if that makes sense. We'll see what happens. If that player that we've got currently being scouted turns out to be halfway decent on left wing, we might sign him and play with wide midfielders instead of wing backs. But we've got to wait for them scout reports to come back anyway, haven't we? Alright, let's advance and move on to the second game of this career mode, unless we get scout reports back, which I'm not expecting. Oh, actually, I spoke too soon. We have got scout reports come back for the players that we have on the transfer hub. We'll have a look at the transfer hub and see what these players are like. They are actually all pretty good. Possibly too good for us, but they are free agents. 69 rated, 69 rated, 68 rated, 66. So he is quick. His acceleration's decent anyway. His sprint speed isn't quite as good as I were hoping. Any other decent stats? Not really. That technical dribble is not going to do us any favours, because that's just AI. What's his what's his crossing? It's only 59, so finishing's quite poor as well. It's a maybe for now. Let's start at the top anyway. Let's have a look at Bjarnason. His stats aren't bad. I would be happy to sign that guy. His stamina's pretty good as well. Composure's decent. His technicals aren't too bad. His long shots are good. His tackling's a little bit poor. Actually, his stand tackling's not too bad. His heading accuracy's decent. Ball control's decent. He is somebody that I'm tempted to pick up. Let's have a look at the pace on the Egyptian wingback. That's not bad. Stamina and strength aren't too bad. His tackling's not that bad either, 67 and 63 respectively. Crossing isn't great. Ball control ain't bad though. He's another possibility. I'm tempted to sign all 4 just for squad depth, but I've got a feeling that they're probably all going to want to be first team. I'm tempted to sign them all, although I don't really want too many old players. This guy though, this guy is one that I want to sign because his physical stats are pretty good. We are... Oh no, he's already gone somewhere. I've just realised. That is gutting. We can't get him. Somebody's picked him up. Oh, why did I not realise that? It's not like I've left it too long either. I've only just got my scout reports back. I am gutted. He would have been perfect. And this guy's stats just don't compare, do they? Oh, I'm gutted. Man, that sucks. I really wanted to sign this guy. Well, we better remove him from the shortlist then. Well, I will think about the other players that we've got on the hub. There's none of them really that I want, like desperately. So we'll just have to think about them. For now, I'm going to hire some youth staff Let's hire a scout. What can we afford? We've got a budget of 1.6. So we could get a 3-star, 4-star. We can't quite afford a 4-star, 4-star yet. Can we adjust the budgets? We haven't really got much of a wage budget anyway, so I don't think it'll make much difference. Ah, it does though. We can adjust quite a bit. So there we go, adjusted that so we've got 1.9, and means we should be able to get that 4-star, 4-star. There we go. The Norwegian Trivge running, I would assume. Yeah, we'll go for him. We are going to hire him, and then we are going to set up a scouting network straight away. And I think because he is Norwegian, we are going to send him to Norway. We'll do 6 months, and we are going to look for, I think technically gifted is what we're going to look for, and see what we can do with that. Alright, it is time for game number 2, although I am still thinking about them players that we've got on the transfer hub. I can't help thinking that we could do with improvements in general, and all 3 of these probably would be an improvement over what we have. I'll tell you what, I'll go through the scenario. We have to have a look at the scenario for trying to sign players at some point anyway, don't we? So, let's try and make an offer for this guy who would instantly improve our midfield, hopefully. Let's try and sign him. Alright, so we're meeting with the guy in our office. Nice to see you both, but we've taken good care of you so far. Let's get started, shall we? So, we want to discuss his role at club. Now, a lot of this seems very similar to last time. I think it's just the setting that can change. We've offered rotation. He wants crucial, of course he does. I thought he might. I wonder if we can counter an offer important. It works like that. Nope, he just wants crucial. Right, we'll accept that, but if he's going to want silly money, that is where things... It says recommended wage 9.2. What is this, 29? Go for a 2-year deal? Yeah, he's happy with that. He don't want a release clause, which I'm happy to deal with. He wants 6.1 grand. He wants money up front though, which ain't good. That signing bonus is not bad. We are going to get rid of that bonus. We'll offer him what he wants minus the appearance bonus. 7.1 thousand. I'm kind of happy with that. Say he's a crucial player. It does say recommended wage 9.2, and we have offered him less, so I am going to accept that. We have signed Figueira to our squad. Now the question is, do I want to try and get these 2 as well? I'm tempted by Sigurdsson just in case I do want to play with wingers, which I may do because we only have 1 left midfield and 1 right midfield player in the team. I'll go through this again and I'll see if we can get him on cheap, and if we can, I will pick him up. If nothing else, he's a squad player. Well, as you can see, we have not signed Aaron Sigurdarsson, or Sigurdarsson. No idea. Don't know what the little symbol means above the letter. But anyway, we have not signed him. He wanted crucial, and I just cannot offer him crucial at the minute because he doesn't play in a position that I am currently playing. So, we are going to have to leave him for now. We might come back in for him if nobody else snaps him up. But yeah, for now, he will not be joining. I am not going to go in for Gabber or Gabber. I don't know, his physicals are decent. No, we'll leave it for now. We have signed 1 player in Figueira. Or it Figueiro. It's Maynard that he would be replacing in this lineup. But I think we may put him on the bench for now. Figueira. No, we won't put him on bench. We will just put him straight in the lineup. He improves the lineup somewhat. The 69 rated central midfielder next to our other 69 rated central midfielder. Save the changes there, and now we are ready for game 2 of 2. I am just going to play a couple of games in this episode, guys. We are not going to get to the first game of the season. I just want to make sure that there's content going up on channel for now. We're in no rush. This is the only series that we are doing for the minute, and there will probably be another episode on Sunday. So we're not in any rush. We'll just play a couple of games, get used to this career mode, get used to the new game, and then build on that from episode number 2. Let's play this second game then, shall we? Finds Wiseman. Through middle, Rooney, knocked on. Here's Towel. Oh, he ran straight into Moofy. What are we doing, lad? Figuera charging backwards. Oh, he's Diddy. I forgot he were 5'7". Oh, it's cut straight through his defence. There's Vermeulen, and he's put it wide. Here's Vermeulen. Ball through defence is Sow. Is that Musa Sow? Oh, Rooney is one-on-one with keeper. Oh, great save. And the electronic version of me ain't happy. It were a great save by keeper, though. A little bit close tuck keeper for my liking. One in the air by Wiseman. Figuera to Piergianni. They're going to be able to get that cross in, I think. And there we go. We have found the back of the net. It is Rooney again. Need to celebrate in front of the fans. Whether it's ours or theirs, I don't know. He's pointing at somebody. A very, very simple cross. And again, Rooney tucks it in inside the 6-yard box. Nicely tuck. Oh, that goal was something special, actually. I didn't realise that it was quite as well taken as it were. The control on that. Whitehead. Back to Figuera. Knocks it on for Towel. Over at top. Ball crossed in, and it's up and over everybody. That were a nice bit of play, that. Figuera knocking it forward for Towel, who then lifted it off at top for were it Wiseman, wing back. Did well right until that cross, and just seriously over it. Trying to get in behind, but too clever for that. And there is half time at the break. We lead 1-0 somehow against the play. Ball in the box. Nearly stole it back. Great block. And there's Figuera knocking it forward for Towel. Tried to pass that through middle. Cut out is Vermeulen. Well done, Figuera. That guy has been a great signing. I was unsure about him, but he's proven to be fantastic. Oh, how did they beat our defender then? He even tried to make the interception. Just completely switched off. I am so disappointed with that goal. Just look at that pass. Defence just switched off. I've got 3 central defenders and none of them were paying attention then for that. It was a well-took goal, but when keeper were just having to deal with that on his own, can't blame him at all. Towel keeps Odder it, loses it to Baggerman though. Still got a player down. It's Daniel's coming forward. Oh, what are we doing, lads? Again. Well done, Neil, though. And now it's Figuera. Brings it forward. Whitehead. Back to Figuera. Tried knocking it on for Towel, who tried knocking it on for Rooney. Trying to stand his ground defensively. They have got in behind again. Great save by Neil. There we are. We're going to make a substitution. We are bringing Whitehead off, and we are bringing a left midfielder on, but on the left side of central midfield. Hopefully he's got a little bit of pace. He has got a little bit of pace, or more so than Whitehead, who went off. Here is Lloyd. Oh yeah, he's much quicker. And the hope is that we can use that, and Rooney's going to be offside, and he is. Nicely worked, but just didn't stray back on quick enough. Yeah, half a mile off. Well done, Figuera. That guy has just been a great buy. Well, I say a great buy. He didn't cost us out, did he? But a great signing. That's the one. Ball over at top. Sal cuts it back, and it's Figueira. Why? Figueira ran back and won the ball, but he was just running at such speed. You watch this. Figueira coming back, steals the ball, but then can't slow down to control it, and it falls straight to the attacker. Wow. Here's Sees Vermeulen, well cut out by Wiseman. It's Towel. He knocks it onto Lloyd. Oh, he beats his man brilliantly. Oh, we've overhit it and then put it wide. That, you're not going to get much more of a chance to score than that. You should be holding your head in your hands, kid. Like I said, the sort of, is it dynamic passing? Oh, well done, Figueira. Lloyd, chance to run. No, referee's whistle brings it to a close. We have lost in the second game of this episode, 2-1. We tried. That was disappointing, weren't it? Still, you know, that miss, in fact, it's there. It says it all, doesn't it? That miss from Diasaruvoy. I assume that's how you pronounce his name, but he should have buried that. He really should. Should have been straight it back at net and we'd have levelled it up. As is, we are currently third with one team left to play. It's not looking good. I think we are going to be out in the group, although the money that we bring in will help just to sign youth players, which is what we are going to be concentrating on now. For now though, guys, we are going to leave episode 1 there. Remember, we've only got like 10 hours worth of gameplay of the trial before the game comes out, so I don't want to make these episodes too long. I want to save some time so I can get a few filmed ready. I am planning to buy the game as soon as it comes out, so hopefully progress will be saved and everything will carry on as normal. If you enjoyed it, guys, make sure you twat that thumbs up button and twat that subscribe button to keep up with content on the channel. As I said, we have got this career mode starting now, the Road to Glory, which, you know, hopefully will be at least like 5 seasons. I'm unsure about scheduling at the minute. I might put 3 videos up a week. I might just put 2, possibly 3, and then drop down to 2 when we do get around to starting the next career mode, which will be Newcastle. So when we have them 2 running side by side, we might have 2 videos each a week, so that'll be 4 total. But with this career mode, while this is the only career mode on the channel, I might put 3 videos up a week, but I haven't decided on what the schedule will look like for that yet. Obviously, I'm hoping to get this one up today on the day of filming, so probably like this afternoon, Friday evening maybe. But yeah, make sure you twat that subscribe button to keep up with the content on the channel now that FIFA 20 is out and I am back uploading again. Social media links, they're all in the description below. Feel free to follow me on whatever your particular pleasure is where social media is concerned. And other than that, guys, thank you for returning to the channel. Cheers for watching, and as usual, I'll see you next episode.